Hey guys, just finishing up the cam belt service. I got the belts tension to a point where I'm pretty happy with. And the balance or counterbalance shaft belt looks good as well. All the timing marks are lined up here, there, and the one on the bottom as well. And I also tested for a top dead center just to make sure everything looks good. I turned the engine a few times with the wrench, and I'm pretty happy with how it is. Sure, it's good to run with for now. But I also went ahead and put just insulation on here. I didn't want to disconnect the AC lines, so I just made a slit in them like this and zip tied them on. Also added one here, even though there's not normally, because it's just so much glue that I can't get off. It just kind of removes this zinc coating on it. Just turns it into silver, and it's kind of ugly. But I am able to get most of the glue off of this. I started on the top. Gonna finish up all here, but it just kind of can pick it off. I'm gonna put the cover on the cam belt before I do all that, so I don't get any of that on the cam belt. Not that would probably do too much, but probably for the better. Other than that, I mean, I think I'm ready just to put all the belts and the auxiliary belts. I got new bolts for the pulley, for the auxiliary pulley, so I can put that all back together and I guess start the car hopefully today. So I'm gonna go do that and get back to you guys. I pretty much got the engine bay all put back together. The big thing is I don't know if you guys remembered, but I didn't have a bracket for the ignition coils, but I made a template, sent it out to a friend with the CNC shop, and they made it. Really happy with how this turned out, and you slide it right over these 4 little studs. If I can do it with one hand. And yeah, that's perfect. Really happy how that turned out. I don't have one of the, there's one. Across the car, let me go get the ignition coils so I can show how it looks. So here's what the ignition coils put in them. These are pretty nice. That's a support for the screws. Obviously I need a bolt in here to hold this, but let me put this one in and just hold it up. That's pretty much how they're gonna sit. Fits perfectly, nice and snug like it is from factory. Really happy how this turned out actually. Yeah, there we go. Let's push forward a little bit, but I mean this little intake piping isn't perfectly on, but there, just kind of push it up to where it should be. And the cable should have enough room to go over and then under. Should look really nicely. Also have a silicone one of these coming in, the intakes, so that'll tidy everything up too. Really happy how this turned out. Got this intake. I might get a shield, or I might just go without and then eventually buy stock airbox. I don't know how much of a difference it makes. I assume this engine base probably pretty hot, so a shield would probably help a little bit. But on my next order from, I think Tonkbarat, or however you say that, has a little shield for their Piper Cross, but I do not want a foam intake. I think foam intakes are awful. I've never seen anyone have a good experience with foam intakes, but at least their shield will probably work with this. So anyways, I'm gonna put all these bolts in and get back to you guys. Be a little, actually it shouldn't be too bad without the intake in to get all these bolts in. So I'll be right back. So I got the ignition coils bolted on to the new mount, and it looks really good. I mean, just the angle of this and size is very close to factory from what I've been able to find online for Evo 2's, and I'm really happy how it turned out. The clearance is a little tight for these wires right here for the intake piping, but like I said, I think before, I have a silicone one coming in, and it actually has like a slight dip downward right here and allows for more space for these wires. So that should be fine. So I probably won't put this on because I don't like how much, like it'll work. If I really had to run with this, I could probably angle or like just bend this a little bit more to angle it up. But I'd rather just wait for the silicone because that should be in here like in a couple weeks or so. And it'll look really nicely. And yeah, pretty happy with how it turned out. I'll probably end up plugging these in and just trying to start the engine at some point. I'll probably do that in the next couple of days. I have to tighten some more bolts on the underneath on the little cover that covers the cam belt and all that. But I think other than that, I think I need to tighten these down as well. But just small tightening on some bolts, and then it's ready to start, I guess. So hopefully all goes well. That'll probably be the next clip, hopefully. And then I'll probably just move it off of the jack and leave it here with this unbolted till the new one comes in, as well as the I don't know, Pureberg valve or whatever it's called, to fix the boost management system in the car. So another update, I was just kind of looking in the engine bay because I'm getting ready to purchase all the things to make the boost stall work again. And I thought I didn't have the Pureberg valve because I have this aftermarket boost controller, but I do actually have it still. I just honestly didn't know where it was and kind of missed it because it's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. I looked at pictures online and I couldn't even recognize this with how small it is. I mean, it's like the size of my thumb at this point. It's not very big. But this looks like it's hooked up to the cold air intake, like it should be. And then I'm not really sure what the wiring goes to, but there's two little plugs that go into the wiring, which looks like the car has. But the two tubes I think that are supposed to go into it, I think one goes to the turbo and the other one goes to whatever that thing right there is. Sorry, just trying to poke. Hard to tell. Whatever that thing I'm pointing at is. So that's what these two tubes go to on this aftermarket boost controller. I'm wondering if I can just, plug these into the Pureberg valve and it will be good to go. I'm gonna ask my friend, see what he thinks. Make sure all this tubing is correct. I'm not sure if this is how it's supposed to go into, and then there's I don't know which one of these go into what little outlet on the Pureberg valve, but I'm gonna see if that works, and maybe that'll help me get full boost again. So I ordered some new lights for the tail lights, and I ordered one pack on Amazon, and I'm not really sure why they sent me 10 packs of it, so I only paid for one. Not really sure what I'm gonna do with all these, because these aren't the main bulbs they use. They're just for these little small ones here, so there's only 2 on the car, I believe, so it's a lot of extra. So I quickly vacuumed the trunk. I'm gonna try one of these little, I guess, carpet brushes and some just fabric cleaner. I didn't have anything for this because I usually just do minimal interior cleaning. I don't do carpet work really that often in my cars, so hopefully this stuff works out. Never tried it, but it should be fine. This is the only small part of carpet I'm gonna do because it doesn't look that bad. So I did once over on this with a mild dilution of like 10-to-1. It's about what I did with the soap to water. It's actually not bad. I think it looks decent. A lot better than what it did. Obviously this carpet's a little old, so I don't want to go too aggressive on it. But it needs to dry a little, and it should be a little bit darker, I think. Also went ahead and did this little cover piece. This turned out pretty well too. I'm thinking I think cleaning it kind of darkened it up a little bit, but that might just because it's a little wet or damp. But I might dye this a little bit darker black because I think it is faded since the rear windshield just kind of gets direct sunlight to this. But I also need to get speakers, but I think I'm gonna a speaker shop just to do those. And then the 2 front ones and maybe a small sub in here because I'm probably not gonna run the spare tire because I don't really need that. But just gonna probably put this all together and leave it as is. I mean, it's pretty good to me. I also went ahead and just used some little like fabric glue on the inside of this carpet just to stick it because it was peeling back a little bit here. Tucked it underneath the rubber slip as well. Sprayed it with some Angel Wax Bliss just because it's a nice scent. Get rid of kind of the old Lancia smell. And then yeah, put this all back. So it's getting really close, to be honest, to being complete. I just got to clean up that seat and put it back in, but really happy how this is turning out. So that's it for this video. Got the cam belt service already. Got everything pretty much lined up for my next part order. Still got to put the seat in. I'm waiting on the little under bracket for it because the cushion kind of falls through without it because it was ripped. But I'll do that. I'll clean up the seat a little bit. Obviously, it's pretty messed up. I'm not going to go too detailed on it because, I mean, I got to replace that seat cover at some point. But anyways, appreciate everyone who's been watching this little Lancia rebuild series. And if you like what you see, go ahead and subscribe because I'm going to be doing a lot of work on this car and pretty much making it a retro mod OEM plus build. So yeah, Thanks for watching.